Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If you're hearing my voice, this message is meant for you. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Prince of Cups. This is you. This is your authenticity. This is you feeling as if your highest kind of duty in life is to just be yourself. You know, to be that authentic person with your own hopes and dreams and goals and wishes and your own style and your own creativity and your own plans, your own voice, you know. So I feel like you're really leaning into yourself these days, you know, trying to find more ways to just to live and let live. Yeah. This is sometimes what I call the bubble in the ocean, yeah, which feels like we're trying to be very true to ourselves, but we're in kind of a hostile situation. We're in this high-pressure emotional situation that is life, right? Trying to convince us to be somebody else. So I feel like your highest work is to just be you, okay? And there may be people around you or just institution or just vibes from the world, right, that are trying to get you to be like everybody else. So I feel like you're really in this kind of this self-possessed type of energy right now. Let's put this into some context and see what's going on for you in your life, right? To see there's that bubble. There's the Ace of Swords. There's your truth. Okay. We have the Temperance card. We have a Seven of Pentacles. We have the Lust card or Strength card. And we have a Five of Swords. Not everybody is going to understand you. And I think with the Five of Swords, the misunderstandings with other people, you know, tends to be like the tax that you pay, the toll that you pay for being authentic. Okay? That's the price that you're going to pay for being who you are. Not everybody's going to understand you. Not everybody's going to like you. I don't think you care right now. I think you're okay with not everybody like. If everybody liked you, I would think that we had a problem, you know. There's the Seven of Wands. There's the Prince of Pentacles. So we have two builders, right? The princes of the tarot are the builders. So you're building the life that you desire, and you're doing it authentically. You're following your own quest. You know, you're following your own destiny here. We have a Four of Pentacles and a Six. Look at that, Six of Cups. The beautiful bliss, the blessings, the family, the community. This is really, really good vibes here. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. I'm going to set it down right here with our little sea turtle friend right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments just below the video. Now let's look around the room here, because we see two major arcana cards, right? We have the Temperance card, that pressure cooker kind of thing, but we also have the Lust or Strength card, this confidence, this courage. It really takes guts to be yourself, doesn't it? Especially in today's world, right? It takes guts to be yourself. And I think that being yourself is going to lead to so many good things for you. You have a lot to look forward to in life. I think that you're finding quality, authentic people and opportunities. Okay. I think it's really, it's requiring your courage and your bravery, but it's going to lead to such great things. There's a lot of self-love here and a lot of divine love. I think there are a lot of opportunities for you for building, not only like building relationships and building friendships and romance, building a family, building a life, you know. But I think also like finding opportunities to really like to earn, you know, to achieve your goals. If there's, you know, kind of money opportunities or business opportunities, there's going to be a lot of those for you as well. The more authentic you are, I think you're going to encounter a lot of resistance, okay, from the wrong people. And that's good, because it really draws out the, when you're living in your own aura, your own energy, and you're striving to be true to yourself and to be authentic, it's going to become very obvious what is not meant for you, who is not meant for you, or whom. And it's going to be very clear what is meant for you or who is meant for you. Okay. So anyway, we got the two majors. We've got some fire over here. We've got water and water. We've got air and air. And we've got earth and earth and earth. Okay. So with the Seven of Pentacles in the background, I kind of feel like you're realizing that there was a different way of doing things that wasn't working. So I feel like there's been a major shift in you. Yeah. And I feel like you've let go of trying to get along with everybody or trying to fit in or something like that, because it feels like you were trying to, maybe it's like at home, at work, at school, it doesn't matter if it's job, career. You're trying to fit in someplace where you knew you didn't really fit. You know, you were the square peg in the round hole and it just wouldn't work. Okay. And I feel like now you're kind of, you are going through this major shift where you're starting to just listen to yourself and do what you know to be the right thing. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where we are with our Prince of Cups here. There's a real authenticity for you. And this is an opportunity for you to be kind of like, I don't know if emotionally mature is the phrase that I'm looking for, but to kind of like not care so much what other people think, and to not be pressured to change your behavior based on the vibes that other people are sending you. Think of that bubble in the ocean, right? Where it just feels like there's this heavy weight, all that water, right? The whole heavy ocean squeezing down on that poor little bubble. And, you know, trying to get that bubble to just be absorbed into that, you know, the vibe. That's just kind of like you go into a room and you can feel the energy of the room, but you're not going to let yourself just be absorbed by that energy. That you're going to maintain your own voice, your own opinions, your own beliefs, your own feelings. Like when you feel something, Cancer, you want to know that it's your feeling. And it's not somebody else that's, kind of sending their emotions to you. Okay? Because I feel like you are a quite sensitive person. You know what? I need to start my timer here. Excuse me. Okay. So the authenticity with the Prince of Cups is kind of this ability to know that what you are feeling is your own, if that makes sense. Okay. The Prince, let's go back to the Prince. I could talk about the Prince of Cups all day here. There is an intensity about you. And I think that you can feel your feelings. It's almost like you're on this kind of emotional quest. You know, you're moving toward what feels soulful to you, what feels right, what feels good. And I think your feelings have been sort of shifting. And I feel like you're stepping into this more like like I said, self-love, divine love type of energy. I feel like your confidence is really rising because you're feeling yourself. You know, you really are. I think that you're able to be open and honest about yourself and share yourself with other people without a lot of self-consciousness. So I feel like this is really an interesting card for a Cancer, because we think Cancer in that crab shell, closed off, not letting anybody really get in, being kind of defensive against being vulnerable and being open and showing people our soft underbelly. But I feel like you're just saying, look, here I am, like it or not, get out of my way. Yeah. I think your heart is really, truly in pursuit of that authentic life. Yeah. And I think that there's a depth in you right now because your direction is in alignment with what you truly feel. You know, I feel like your heart is steering the ship right now. Yeah. And you've got this Ace of Swords, which is truth. This is clarity. This is a mental breakthrough. And I think that, you know, that mental breakthrough might be coming as a kind of like a big shift in your consciousness that's showing you and giving you that kind of certainty about what your path is supposed to be. To me, it feels like there's really a sharp moment of clarity that's going to cut through any confusion that you may have right now. And this is clarity about a lot of things. I think this is really just your ability to tap into something else that, regardless of the situation, you're going to be able to look at it and say, I can see what this is. And you know exactly how to respond, which direction to go. You know, your thoughts are not clouded as much as you're feeling your emotional energy and you're really in your aura right now. Your consciousness has this ability to see through the noise and to know exactly like what you're supposed to do and where you're supposed to go. This is like your perception of the truth. It's like you've got an antenna on the top of your head, you know. And I feel that there's this ability to sort of receive the divine guidance, to receive the downloads. Okay, and I think that you're able to communicate yourself and your feelings in a very clear way right now, because this is like precise language. You know what I mean? This is like, we're not being vague. I think that you are saying things very distinctly, very correctly. You know, this is a good time for you to start something new, okay? Because I feel like it's a good time for you to make decisions, basically, yeah? Because there's not a lot of overthinking energy. There's not a lot of equivocation. There's not a lot of doubt. We have a Five of Swords, yeah, but I feel like that is, to me, almost feels like energy coming in from others, yeah. This is the clarity of your thoughts right now. So you got to trust your mind, trust your heart. Okay, you're daring really to see things clearly, and you're getting to the point, and you know it's like a superpower that you have right now. And this to me is a heart and a mind that is just real nice. Okay, the water and the air, the heart and the mind working together. This authentic heart that is just full of love and possibility and full of warmth, but full of intensity and full of truth, and your mind's ability to direct your ship. This is beautiful energy, a wonderful combination of cards, you know. Down beneath the surface with the Temperance card, this feels, in some ways, this feels like the pressure, okay? Because the Temperance card, first thing I'm feeling like is, where in your life did you feel like there's a situation that was trying to get you to be somebody you weren't? Because this is a card of transformation. This is a card of an inner transformation because of its position in the spread. So my first thought is that like you were in a place, a job, a partnership, a family thing, a relationship, friendship, whatever it was, that you didn't like who you were becoming. You know? It's kind of like the situation was forcing you to kind of to be somebody that you didn't like, or that be somebody that you didn't want to be. It was trying to change you and transform you or refine you into somebody else. So I feel like you're really making that bold decision to say, no, you know what? I want to be who I am, and I want to do things the way I want to do them. I want to live my life the way I, you know, sort of choose, or the way that you're guided, let's say. And so this transformation then becomes kind of like you're choosing to go your own way and to make decisions that will lead to you becoming somebody that you admire. Does that make sense? So when you have goals, the goal, whatever you want in life, doesn't matter what it is. I always say that, especially in a reading like this. I say, it doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter what your goals are, what your dreams are. It doesn't matter what your heart is sort of pulling you toward. What matters is how you're going about doing it and why. Yeah. And really who you're becoming through that process. So I feel like you are going through this major transformation. I feel like you have such a bright, bright future ahead of you. It feels like wonderful energy that you're headed towards. And I feel like you're really going through this process of refinement. Your choices and really just the clarity that you're receiving because of this shift toward this authentic existence that's bringing you all this clarity is kind of like you're just stepping forward into realization after realization after realization, and that is molding and shaping you into who you're meant to become. Okay. So I think with the Temperance card here, you're no longer tolerating a situation, any situation in life, just generally across the board. Any situation that's going to try to transform you into someone you don't want to be. Yeah. So we're kind of letting go of things from the past here, letting go of this Seven of Pentacles, because this is something that you can now see very clearly wasn't working. Okay. Whether this was a business thing, a job, career, as some kind of employment, whether this was a relationship or these were goals that you had or whatever this might have been. You're letting go of something that you can see clearly now wasn't meant for you. There was no resonance here. Okay. And I think that this was that situation that you tried to force yourself to stay in. Okay, this is an apparent failure. But I think the clarity that you're receiving right now is telling you that this wasn't a failure on your part. This was something that missed you because it wasn't meant for you. So this failure was kind of like trying to reveal something to you about some kind of learning or some kind of change or some kind of process that you're meant to focus on. Okay. So I think it's not through a lack of effort. It wasn't through any sort of fault of yours. This was something that wasn't meant to work out because it wasn't for you. It's like almost trying to mix oil and water together, which is, sometimes kind of what you're feeling here. This is, yeah, I know you mix oil and vinegar together, you get a nice salad dressing. But the things are going to separate. They may come together for a moment and be very tasty, but they're going to separate again. You leave them alone for a while and they're going to separate, right? So this is that situation where it just felt like you weren't blending with somebody. Or maybe something, maybe it's the job, maybe it was a family thing, or maybe the place where you were living. It felt like there wasn't a true mixture, that you may have kind of forced yourselves to be together for a while and it was working for a time, but you know that it was, no matter what you did, eventually the two components were going to separate out. Does that make sense? So there was no true mixture between you and that other thing. And I think that the clarity here is you realizing that you don't have to force yourself to do that. You don't have to be there and force yourself to try to stay, I forgot what they call that, an emulsion, right? You don't have to be emulsified with that other thing. I really like the lust card, the strength card that's at the top here, because this is that courage. This is your creativity. This is you with this ability to just kind of be brave and go your own way. I feel like your confidence is rising, and I feel that part of you is learning, kind of like emotional boundaries, because it's self-love. Like I said, that authenticity is just you loving yourself so much that you're not going to compromise yourself, that you're not going to do something that you know is not meant for you or not right for you or doesn't mix well with you or doesn't help you become the person that you want to become. So this is kind of an independence in a way. This is your feeling like you are capable of doing the difficult thing. Maybe the difficult thing is going your own way, living your own truth, or honoring your own sort of heart quest. This is a card of having desires. Yeah. And maybe part of this energy for you is realizing that you don't have to, you don't have to compromise your desires in order to fit into some other situation. That this is now you saying, look, this is what I want in my life, and I'm not going to feel bad about it. You know, whatever your goal, whatever it is that you desire, what do you want in life, Cancer? What do you want in life? Because this is the confidence that you need to go get what you want in life. And I think that you're this is kind of the confidence of looking forward to getting that thing that I want in life. And it's not about the thing. Maybe you want, a bunch of money. Maybe you want the perfect relationship, or maybe you want family or something like this. It's not really about the thing you want. It's about how the thing you want is going to make you feel. It's going to be about who you become on that journey of getting what you want. Okay. I feel like this is you expanding into your energy. Yeah, you're channeling a lot of your energy into creative sort of pathways. You're building something in life. Okay? You're taking that brave step toward what you want in life. Strength is your desire that's now brought into consciousness and directed with authenticity. That's strength. This is your passion. This is you leading with your fire. This is you realizing that it's okay to want things. I feel like this is the message coming in from your spirit guide, trying to tell you it's okay for you to want things. So go ahead and you want whatever it is that you want, and you go get it. You go build it. You go create it. You go make it. You want a sandwich. Okay, I'm going to get up, go in the kitchen. I'm going to make the sandwich. Whatever the future is that you want. And with that 6 of Cups there at the end, oh my goodness. It is going to feel good when you get it. And you are becoming the person that you need to become as you're moving toward the reception of the goal. See, the goal, the long-term arc here is Cups. It's not Pentacles. It's a 6 of Cups, not a 6 of Pentacles. It's not about the physical thing, the house, the car, the money, the family, the relationship, the bicycle, the sandwich. It's about how that sandwich is going to make you feel, right? And who you're becoming along the way. You're becoming someone that knows how to make sandwiches now. Yeah. But this is the pleasure of not just of eating the sandwich, but of the pleasure of saying, I built this thing. Tell me in the comments, tell me what kind of sandwiches you like. What I really like is mayonnaise and tomatoes, or even cucumbers and tomato sandwiches. Oh, those are good. I like a good BLT, though, too. Anyway, this is really a confirmation that your desires are going to be fulfilled by you through your efforts. Okay, because you're following your heart, you're following your authenticity. And because of the earth energy here, the pentacles here, yeah, it might be something about money or finances, opportunities for those kinds of blessings, right? Maybe. Let's talk about the 5 of Swords here in this future position. Going forward for you, there is going to be misunderstandings. People are not going to always get you. And that's okay, because if everybody got you or understood you, I would think you're not really all that complex. You know, I was going to say, you might be kind of simple. I'm all about simplicity, and I think the Ace of Swords really is simplicity. It's saying, I know what I want, and that's where I'm going. Very simple, right? But I think that you're a deep, sensitive, thoughtful, and passionate person. Not everybody is going to understand you because you're not just living on the surface level of life where, you know, you kind of can get along with everybody and you have something in common with everybody and everybody likes you. And I don't think you really want to exist that way, okay? Because this, to me, feels like there are going to be people that don't get it, that don't like you, that don't know you. I think that's okay. I think that's more than okay. Again, misunderstandings, let's say, or confusion, or maybe just some kind of like, just some friction with other people generally. That's the price you pay for your authenticity. You know? And if you're strong enough to go through this, you're going to get to your goal, because this is the only thing that really is pushing back against you, is other people not understanding what you're doing, other people being negative, other people that are trying to sow the seeds of doubt in your mind, whether it's people you know or people you don't know. Yeah. And this, you know, make sure that you don't fall into that trap of needing to explain yourself, or of needing to convince somebody. It's not a debate. It's not a discussion where you're trying to, it's not debate club where you're trying to just win the argument and bring somebody over to your side. No. If you don't want to, if somebody's not interested, if somebody's not open-minded, then you don't have to try to convince anybody. You're not trying to gain converts, you know. You're just being you. And I think that by you being yourself, it's kind of like the trash is going to just stay out of your way, you know. It feels like the wrong people are going to avoid you anyway. And I don't think that you're, you know, you have some abrasive personality. No. I just feel like the people that aren't going to resonate with you are going to stay out of your way anyway. And so I kind of feel like things are going to get pretty easy for you as long as you don't get entangled with these other people and try to pull on those strings that you're meant to just kind of let go of. So let go of any need to convince people. Let go of any need to explain yourself. Okay? You don't owe anybody any kind of explanation. And you certainly don't want to fall into these traps of entanglements. And this is drama. That's what this is. This is just drama. So avoid the drama. Okay? And stay true to the narrative that you are creating, your thoughts. And the clarity of your thoughts really are what are going to matter. Don't let anybody else tell you any different. Okay? Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's a wonderful way to support the channel, and I really appreciate that. On the path of the serpent, you have this Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands means you're standing up for yourself. You are protecting your energy with that courage. You're standing up with your inner strength. You're holding your position. Okay? And I think that, again, this is your confidence rising. You're saying the thing that needs to be said. You're making the choices that need to be made. I don't think it's any one particular thing. Maybe if you're looking at that Seven of Pentacles, you're saying, yeah, I really need to get out of that situation and follow my heart. Okay? This is you doing that. But this is your general energy. From this point forward, you're going to be protecting your energy. You're going to be advocating for yourself. You're going to protect your time, effort, energy, money, your space, your spirit. Okay? You're going to protect your boundaries. And you're not going to back down from going after the thing that you desire. just because somebody is bigger or stronger or taller or more experienced than you or more well-liked than you are. It's not a popularity contest. You're going to go after what you want because you deserve it too. So you're going after a new job or that house that you wanted, or you're going after the financial wealth and security of your life. You're going after that kind of relationship or that family that you want. You're going to keep pushing forward toward that, even if it feels like the odds are against you. This is your refusal to abandon yourself even though there's opposition. Stand your ground. Okay? And more importantly, you have your own back. And you're going to continue to take those actions that exemplify that courage. Okay? And yeah, it may be some uncomfortable decisions or actions or choices that you have to make. Because this isn't about, the comfort, I think, is to just, like the comfort zone, would be to just try to ignore what's in your heart and force yourself to be okay with whatever's back here. Okay? But you're not doing that. Okay, because you're building the life. Remember, the princes are the builders. You're building the life you desire. And you have the confidence to go after what you desire. Okay, and you feel like you deserve what you desire. There's no guilt about it. There's no shame about it. You want what you want, and you're going after what you want. Now, the Prince of Pentacles is, in the physical realm, it is that person that shows up every day. It is that commitment. It is that reliability. There's somebody that shows up, does what they say they're going to do, doesn't back down. Even when things get uncomfortable, here you are continuing to build that life. So it's not always going to be fun and games, but you're not going to let yourself get discouraged. You're making steady progress. You are a responsible and reliable person. You're showing up consistently, even when it feels kind of unglamorous. You're taking care of business. You're whatever it is you desire, this is you doing the work to build that, to acquire that, to achieve that, to reach the top of that mountain. You're paying the bills, you're doing the chores, you're meeting the deadlines, you're doing the maintenance, you're nailing the boards together. You're digging the holes, planting the seeds, covering them up, you're showing up. Okay? And this is you following a particular, plan. I don't know what your goals are. If it's a type of relationship, if it's a business, if it is a certain, financial stability, you're doing the work that's going to create that. You're doing both the inner work, but you're doing those things in the outer world too that are required. Okay? What can you do today that your future self will thank you for? This is us in the present moment, right here, right now, today, building that life. Okay? And when I say building the life, it's basically you living the life, having achieved, the object of your heart's desire. Okay? Whatever those goals are. Stay the course. Okay? You're growing, and your life is growing. Because this is that consistency that day after day is growing that life that you're after. Okay? Or you're sticking with it. Now you have a 4 of Pentacles here in the position of the fear, worry, concern, or the anxiety. So I kind of wonder if, the goal that you have, whatever the goal is, I feel like what you really are after is that feeling of security. Because the 4 of Pentacles is safety, security, stability. Yeah. And I think that this is kind of a 2-pronged type of card now. Because on the one hand, I feel like this is why you want what you want. I want that $1 million. I want that good promotion. I want that job. I want that career. I want that family. I want that relationship. I want that house. Why? For any of those things. Because it feels like it's safe. It's stability. I want security in my life. I want to feel stable. I want to feel like, that I'm sort of protected against the wilderness, the dark, scary forest beyond. I'm protected against uncertainty. Whether it's the relationship, the house, the job, the money, because you want to feel safe. You want to feel like we have a little bit of control. We want security. Okay. So I think once we realize, why do I want what I want in life? Why do I have the goals? Like I'm trying to learn jujitsu. Why do I want to learn jujitsu? So I can feel safe. So I know I can protect myself and my family. Perhaps. Maybe it's for physical health. I want to get into better shape physically because then I feel like I'm protected against, injury and illness. Okay, and protecting my longevity. Okay. And so I think we look at that and we realize what the motivators are. Okay, what the true motivators are that we're after. Now this card is also can be a problem because to get to true, first of all we realize that the 4 of the tarot is always an illusion. This is the illusion of security, the illusion of safety. Yeah. Especially when we're using this as an excuse to not move forward. Well, I don't want to go start that new business, or I don't want to go down that road because I got a pretty good thing going here. It's like I don't want to leave my job because, my job's pretty stable. And when I made the transition to YouTube, I had a day job that I'd been with the company for 15 years. And toward the end of those 15 years, when my wife and I were talking about making the full-time switch over to YouTube, I was saying, I've been there for 15 years. It's a pretty stable gig. It's pretty safe, secure, it's pretty stable, it's not going anywhere. But the realization is that there's no safety in that. I was putting all my eggs in someone else's basket and saying, I really hope they don't fire me. I hope that they don't drive the company into the ground. There's no guarantee that I would have had a job in another day, a week, month, or a year. So it really is the illusion of security. But sometimes we feel that it's safer to stay the same than it is to change. Okay? I don't think you're fearing change, though. And I think that's kind of the point of this particular card, is that you want change because you know that change is for the better for you. We don't fear change when it's something good, And I think that you realize that changing now and making that decision to live life from that authentic, soulful place is going to continue to improve your life. Even when you go through challenges and misunderstandings, your life is getting better and better and better and better. You have a lot to look forward to in life. When you're stuck there in the 7 of Pentacles, there's really not much to look forward to. But now that you're living like this, and moving forward, and you're saying, I want to change, I want to grow, I want to do new things, and I want to follow my heart wherever it's going to lead me, and you have this confidence that's rising. This confidence is really you saying, I know that the decisions that I'm making, the changes that I'm going through now, the shifts and the transformations, these are going to make my life better. And that's confidence. That you're not, that's your ability to have courage in the face of uncertainty. You can't have courage unless you're scared, right? Can't be brave unless there's something to fear. And so you have this courage because you know that going through this dark, scary forest is going to lead you to better things. You're confident that these changes that you're going through are going to be good. Yeah. And indeed, they are. 6 of Cups here at the end. Pleasure. Family. This is you enjoying the fruits of your labor. This is you feeling very satisfied that you made the sandwich, and then getting to eat the sandwich too. And you know what? Sharing the sandwich with other people. This is comfort. This is warmth. This feels like the emotional safety, you know? And yeah, it's an illusion too, because it's impermanent. Okay? Of course it's impermanent. But this is you enjoying that moment of safety, you know, of warmth, of comfort, the simple pleasures of life. Yeah. And connecting with the people around you. This is you feeling like the universe has given you a big hug. This is you feeling a deep soul level pleasure for your accomplishments. You know, this is the sweetness of life. This is you enjoying the what you're creating and what you're building and what your goals are. You have a lot to look forward to. Your future is very, very bright. Stick with this energy. Okay? And always know that, okay, are you playing it safe? Because if you're playing it safe, that's okay to play it safe. But if you're playing it safe, you have to know that, you know, this is out there somewhere. And so this card really is in the perfect position, because what we want is safety, security, and stability. But to get that, we have to be willing to go through change. Change equals stability. And that's the kind of continued bliss and pleasure of having goals, having desires, and striving toward them. And knowing who you're becoming and knowing why you're going after certain goals and your ability to see clearly what goals are not for you anymore. Let's look at our mystery card. Maybe this is going to be the Chariot. I could see that. I don't know what else. I feel like the Chariot would be perfect right now. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Oh, the Page of Cups. Nice. Allowing yourself to follow the synchronicities, to follow the signs and the symbols and the synchronicities. You realize that the messages are meant for you in the universe. And you're allowing yourself, the fish in the percolator. Yeah. You're allowing yourself to feel the feelings and to kind of trust them a little bit. You're not going to let, obviously, you're not going to let the page drive the car. It's still a knight in training, right? But it's kind of like we have to listen. We have to feel what we feel. And I think that you're trusting your feelings so much more. Because there's this sensitivity. Yeah. Your heart is bringing you messages. And you're noticing those subtle feelings that you have about things. And you're not going to absorb, again, with like the bubble in the ocean, you're not going to absorb the emotional energy or the mood of everybody else. You're staying true to yourself. And you're following that path that feels right for you. And of course, your mind is able to cut through all the noise and show you the direct path to those things. You're allowing yourself to desire things. This is the awakening of desire. Simple. And you're listening to your heart because your heart is telling you, I want something. And this isn't surface level. It's not just the heart saying, I want a sandwich, I'm going to go make a sandwich. This is your heart telling you what kind of life you want or what your goals are. Okay. I feel like new desires, not new, I feel like they've always been there, but you're starting to give them more attention. You're starting to hear them and pay attention to them and acknowledge them. So it feels like they're speaking louder. Yeah, this is wonderful. Now we're going to do an extended reading as well. Please click on the link in the corner there, or there's a link in the video description. Cancer, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. and we are all in this together.